A very good evening to everybody watching. Thank you for joining us tonight on the evening review. My name is Toiwonjebela. Tonight on the platform, we are joined by Petrus Shiweva. He is a councillor for the Affirmative Repositioning movement on the Outapi Town Council. Mr. Shiweva has been fighting some battles in the north, which we'll explain in a moment, but thank you for making time, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, wonderful. So, your battle there with the authorities in your area is primarily around employment application forms. What are the issues there that you do not agree with?
Yes, thank you, Toivo. I think first of all, Toivo, we must know that the regional council is guided by the Regional Council Act.
Yeah.
The Regional Council Act 22 of 1992, Section 28 states that one of the role of the regional council is to provide the social, the economic, and also the council must be responsible to meet the needs of the community. Now, when you have, for example, a community where the needs of the community, it's unemployment, for example, we know for sure and for a fact that currently now, as we're talking in Namibia, 60% of the youth are unemployed. Now, how do you address these needs of the community? It's obviously by being able to provide the services that can enable them to get employment. Now, one of these is the application forms that the constituency office is supposed to provide.
Yeah.
Now, it came to me, it was very disturbing. Remember, I'm serving at the local authority. I'm not serving at the regional council, but then the office itself of the council lies within the Outapi town, where I'm serving as a councillor. So then the residents start now calling me to say, no, Shiweva, what is happening? We are buying forms at $9 at the regional council office. What is happening? Yeah. Then I have to, because I don't just to act on things that I hear said, I then decided that I must go there at the constituency office so that I can see by myself. Yeah. Then I now decided to go there at the constituency office. I asked, how much is the, of course I didn't even ask them how much, I just said, I did an application form. Yeah. Then I was told, no, the application form is, you have to buy it. And I said, for how much? It's $9. And I have now to ask, why is $9? Because for me to question that is also that in the same town in Outapi, we have printing shops. For example, there's one called Tinya. In Tinya Ink Solution, a government application form costs $4. But they in the offices of government, where they're supposed to meet the needs of the community, as the Act says, it's now being sold for $9. That's why now I just begin to question, why are you selling this application form for $9? It was unfortunate that day the councillor was not there. I wanted to engage her. I tried getting her number. It was not being picked up. I then tried to get the information from the officials who were in the office. Yeah. Then they now explained to me, no, the $9 is because apparently it's a government procedure that was put up there by the ministry that the forms per page must cost $2, I think 35 cents. That's why now they have now to use that benchmarking that were given by the ministry. It's something that's very worrisome. It's that's very disturbing. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think? I just want to put this to you because some people, we live in cities, yeah, or we have jobs,
yeah,
and we tend to trivialize, yeah, some of these issues.
Yeah.
You think, $9, what is $9?
Yeah, yeah.
What does $9 mean for an unemployed person in Outapi and surrounding areas?
Look, Toivo, and this is what you are saying exactly is correct. I received some responses from some people who are saying, and you as a councillor, why are you wasting time complaining about an application form? What is an application form? Some are saying, you think this money is supposed to come from where to buy? Look, Toivo, the day I went there at the office of the councillor, there was a lady from the village. She was having a child. That she looks very vulnerable. That lady could not afford the mere $9, but that lady is a graduate, and she came there at the constituency office, and and she don't have that $9. What literally means that lady have to go back home without that application form. Now, how is the constituency now assisting this? And that was exactly my question that I was asking. How do we assist now then those who cannot afford? Yeah. Because then now someone is a graduate, they are done, they are not having that $9. How do we assist such a person? And remember, Toivo, it's not just about $9. Let's think this deeply. Let's say, for example, this person is applying for maybe even 9 posts. Because then with this hard economy, you have to try. You're lucky, you throw here and throw there. This $9, 9 times 5, it's almost what, 5? Yeah. Times 10 is almost $100. And there's a mere chance also that this person can make a mistake. When you make a mistake at $9, you wasted your $9.
You must get another one.
You must get another form again for $9. Yeah. It's a terrible thing, and it's not only in Outapi now. I came to learn that even in other constituencies like Okalongo, like Otamanzi, and that's why it now speak to the vulnerability of the community. Go to Otamanzi; those are the most vulnerable people there. Yeah. Go to elsewhere. Maybe in Outapi you can say there are better people who sometimes they maybe live in town and so forth, and they are struggling. How do those people can afford the $9 for 5 or 6 forms? You are also jeopardizing those people, their chances of getting employment in a way. It's a government. You're not assisting. It's a serious thing.
Yeah. Ideally, what should be the situation? Are you saying the price must be reduced, or there shouldn't be any payment at all? Because, I mean, of course, there's a lot of logistics involved also.
Yes. In my view, I feel that there must be free. These forms, the people must get free. Or we can let us say we give a free form, and then if they make a mistake, they can then come buy. But also at a reasonable price. Because look, the government is saying we are trying to assist the nation to get jobs. We are trying to take the nation out of poverty. Now, it's like the government is taking advantage of the situation that the youth are. Because now, remember, every time the government, for example, a secular whatever is out, the councillors goes there, they announce, this secular what is out, go to the government offices. All the youth, they rush to the government offices. They don't even go to printing shops. When they rush to to government offices, they pay this money. It means in a day, a government can make a lot of money, more than even the printing shops. What does it mean entirely? When a councillor is calling the youth to come to his offices, it means we are thinking, in our perspective, we are looking at it that he's helping. But in a large scale, the government is making what? Money out of this youth. They are actually taking out a lot of money from the youth, because that profit is even an abnormal profit. Because I think for us to solve this problem, and the official there explained to me that one of the challenges that they have is that the machines, all the regional councillors that they're having, they are renting them. They don't have their own. If the government can purchase the machines for the regional council, and those regional council can have their own machines within themselves. Because remember, in the past, the regional council were not receiving budget from government. You remember that. But now currently, we are talking about the constituency officers are receiving budget. We must have the budget to say, this is how much the constituency can spend on making forms for them. The forms are not expensive. If you can make them even maybe 1,000 or so just once, and then they can just be there in the government in the office. If maybe then the ink is finished, then you can maybe start charging afterward. But now, the government have removed themselves completely from the giving that. And also one thing that I want to say here is this. The reason I'm saying the government is taking advantage of the situation that the Namibian people are in. Look at it from this angle. There was a time that the government, the 8th administration now, announced that youth must apply for youth funds. But for them to be admitted, it's advisable that they must register their companies and so forth. And many youth rushed to register their companies with PIPA, with NAMRA. And when you register a company, you must understand, you're going to spend around going to 2,000. People spend money. And then what happens? In a region, maybe people were taken 3 or 4 people are taken out. What did the government make? They made profit out of the youth. And there's nothing really that the youth have gotten from that. It's an insult to the youth.
Yeah. How is the condition of young people generally in the area that you serve and surrounding areas? You mentioned an example of a woman, a graduate who was looking for a form.
Yeah.
Is it increasingly becoming an issue of where you have? Because in the past, it could be argued that, no, you need to upscale yourself, go to university, go to this. But now people are there with their degrees.
Yeah.
What is your observation on the ground?
The situation is getting worse and worse. And today, when I was coming here, I came with a text, we were having a conversation. I said, if we are not careful, our country in the next 5-6 years will really be in a mess. Look, apart from me serving as a regional constituency councillor, I mean a rural authority councillor for Outapi. I'm a teacher by profession. I've done education. And right now, if we have one post at the school, it can attract up to 500 applicants. It's not a joke. 500 applicants per one post. This is how serious the situation is. And when you look at these people and you look at their qualifications, it's people who, their qualifications, they have maybe They completed maybe 2020, they've completed 2018, they have completed 2016, and you're like, yo, when will this, and some people look even hopeless and helpless. And you can imagine how much money this person have spent on running with interviews from one place to another, going in every area of this country, going to Katima, going elsewhere. The situation is becoming worse and worse every day. And that's why I'm saying the issue of application form must not be just looked at the issue of application form as people look at it, but the issue of how do we assist the unemployed youth? Which platform? How do we make it easy for them to be able to go in the market? Even when you see, like some of the youth were demonstrating, saying the issues of interviews must be abolished in the Ministry of Education. It's not just the issue of, yes, we say the issue of integrity, the issue of how do people get jobs now without the interview, but the reason why people are complaining like is because there is a problem. People are tired. People have run with many interviews, and they have no other money that they can use. And if they can save a little, maybe by getting even application form from a government or any other means for them to get job, then that can be better. But in the current state, it's getting worse.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
We go for a very short break and return with Petrus Shiweva. We are still talking to Petrus Shiweva. He is a councillor on the Outapi Town Council, of course, Town Council, and he is representing the Affirmative Repositioning movement. I suppose in your council you are the only representative of your party there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is the setup there? SWAPO, how many seats and who else?
SWAPO having 5, 1 seat for AR and 1 seat from IPC.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is the going? How is it going for you guys, especially those of you that are in a very overwhelming minority like that? How do you put your ideas across?
Yeah, Toivo, I must say, I think from the onset you must know that UMSAT have been predominantly having SWAPO, and in the past, other people from other parties even used to get beaten and all those things. Yeah, it used to be known as the no-go zone for any other party. Yeah, that must put it that way. But as the years are going now, and the understanding of people also changes, I think we are beginning to have a different narrative. But of course, I must tell you that it's not an easy job. Of course, you alone from in minority and the others are in the majority. Yeah, sometimes you can bring, for example, a motion there on a specific agenda, which is it really affects the residents. But because the other people are not from your party, they will have to look for ways to sabotage it, or they have to look for ways to ensure that it does not go through. Yeah, it's a serious thing, and it's not just a fight also between you and the councillor. It's also a fight between you and the CEO, because you bring it, because the CEO also try this side to block it. Because remember, all these people, yes, we say they went through interviews, but the reality of the fact that is that even the administration, most of them, they are SWAPO appointed. That's why when you go there, they can't allow you to just to ensure, even if it's a good idea. And that's the very difficult that we have in this country, because we are not differentiating between politics and governance. When you go there, people have to make sure that no, this idea must come from people within our party, that must go through. If it's from the other person, it cannot.
There's a message that I saw. Now I just remembered it now. I probably don't have it now.
Yeah.
Where there seems to be, I don't know whether it's a councillor, but it sounds like an opposition party texting each other with the CEO of Outapi Town Council. Yeah. And I think the CEO was saying something like, SWAPO have a gun or something like that. And of course, not physically, but I mean, so I don't want to, maybe you haven't seen it, but tell me about some of the ideas really that you've been in office for since when?
Since last year, December. We were sworn in December last year.
Yeah, so basically 7 months or so.
Yeah, 7 months,
Yeah. What are some of the progressive ideas that you put on the table, or are you just collecting your check there?
Yeah, thank you, Toivo. I think, as you are aware, that we are a refusist party. We are not just politicians. That's what I always say. We are activists. An activist by nature must champion ideas. Yeah, must challenge the status quo. That's why we are there. Yeah. So let me just give these practical things. There was an issue, I think maybe you have seen it also in the newspaper, on the issue of the councillors for SWAPO, the mayor and the chairperson and the CEO together. They went for a trip to Windhoek. And I went to question that trip because, first of all, when they left for that trip, they did not inform us. They just went. But by the Local Authority Act says that any decision, an individual councillor does not have administrative or does not have the power to make a decision. It has to be taken collectively. That's why we are 7 of us. Then I started questioning it. Why these people went go there using the council's money, which is not approved? You went to Windhoek for a visit, whatever trip you went to. Why? What is the reason? And why did you hide it from us? Because that day when they left, they put on the group that no, the mayor is out of the office. Then I asked on the group, because we have a WhatsApp group, why is the mayor was going? No, then nobody responded. Then I decided that, okay, you don't want to respond, it's okay. Then I called them immediately, the major, informed the major that they said, I think this is happening in Outapi. Can you please find out why? Because I was asking them, but they don't want to respond. Yeah, then later they have to come. They said, no, we went to visit the city of Windhoek on waste management. We went to wait. But then the real thing was, what was difficult? Why did you took such an illegal decision without informing others? Yeah, one of the things also that I pushed there, I pushed for the issue of the recreational facility. You see, for example, in Outapi now, if you go in Outapi, there's no recreational center in Outapi where you can even go rest or just sit down and everything. Remember, Outapi is a capital city for Msati. Yeah, so I pushed for that motion. As I'm talking now, that motion have passed through. Yeah, it's only the issue of funding now with the budget now that cannot, but we have pushed for it and it have gone through. So we are basically working there, not just sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you, in other scenarios, do you see each other as a collective? Because in 2030, when the local authority elections are up again,
Yeah.
people will judge you guys collectively. So even these trips and motions and everything, you'll be judged as a collective. Is that the understanding among all of you, or there are those who think along party lines only?
Yeah, no, I think, Toivo, at the beginning it was a bit of a push and pull. It was difficult, and I know it was immediately after election. But I think now I have to appreciate we are getting there to move. I think also right now if you remember, if you go to Outapi at the hospital, there was a shelter home for our mothers. It was not working since then. The people only put the people that time of COVID. They put the people for COVID. Then they have been there collecting dust. So
yeah, I see them there. That side of is that Ihwali? What is that area where as you come from?
Yes,
Tsandi?
yes, you come from Tsandi, then you pass Ukwa, just somewhere here.
Ukwana,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
There are
Yes,
people there
yes,
just under some thorn trees there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
how is that situation now?
So we are talking now, me and you now, that shelter home is functional, and our mothers are there now, very happy.
Okay.
So we are really pushing. We are now trying to really manage those differences and try to push and work together as a council.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a council that mostly comprised of very young people, and I hope that if we can really put down those party lines, we can able to achieve a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you guys navigating the wrath of Lord Sankwasa, Tate Sankwasa? He's been visiting local authorities and he's been ruffling feathers.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the Outapi video yet of people being pointed in their faces.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the minister's visit?
Yeah. No, we are ready. We are ready to evolve. I think, like I said, Outapi, of course, it's having its challenges.
Yeah.
Ranges from issues of sewer, like you have seen also in Walvis Bay, I think with many towns now.
Yeah.
The issues of the roads, mostly. Those are most of the issues that are there.
Who collects your revenues for municipal services? Is it the council itself, or is it outsourced?
No, correct. It's ourselves as a council.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ourselves. Yeah, so mostly those are the issues that we have. But generally, I think, like I said, the council is doing well. So even if the minister can come, I think I can say that we are ready as a council. But I think one thing I also need to put forth is that I think our minister have been very good and have been advocating for things very well. But I think also one thing that I want to leave with our minister is the challenge that we have in this country is that we must focus less from talking and put more implementation. We have laws that need to be amended. For example, we have the Local Authority Act 23 of 1992. For example, you see the issue of the roads. Many people, when they hear on the TV and then they say, the minister saying, no, local authorities are not working. We have big holes in their roads and they're not working. And people are clapping and saying they're happy. But without knowing that current days we are talking in the current form now, if a main road passes through a town, it's not the responsibility of us as a local authority to maintain it. It's the responsibility of the road fund, which is under the Ministry of Works and Transport. So we are proposing that the minister could go to Parliament and also propose this amendment so they can be done. So then this power can lie with the local authority. A local authority can have as many cars. The money could go to not just paying for these cars for the town, but the money goes to road fund. But the local authority does not take anything. But when these holes come, the blame comes to the local authority. So these are the things that the minister also need to address then, so that we are able also as local authority to have this mandate over the roads, even especially the national roads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the housing situation, how is it? Who's building houses there? For example, do you guys have unoccupied mass housing units, or are they all occupied? Things around housing in Outapi, are you having a situation of mushrooming informal settlements, Konimbu or wherever?
Yeah, no, Trevor, I think in fact now, that's what I'm saying. There are areas that Outapi is doing very well. This year, there was an assessment that was done on the informal settlements in Namibia, and Outapi emerged to be one of the towns that, in terms of the informal settlement, it does not. It categorized as if it doesn't have informal settlement, because all the informal settlements of our town of Outapi, currently as we are talking now, there is water, for example. Yeah. If there is no water, the other one there is electricity, but then it's not just fully serviced, but it's partially serviced. That's why now they were impressed by that assessment that at least Outapi is doing well on the terms of the informal. But I must accept that the reality of the matter is that generally houses is a crisis in Outapi, not only in Outapi, even in Namibia generally. And I agree and concur currently with what the proposal that was said by the Right Honorable Prime Minister, that we cannot even have in Namibia a house that is costing 1 million. It's not reasonable, because look, if you go now to our village, and I always like to give this example. If you go to your village house, you can build a 3-bedroom or even a 4-bedroom. It cannot even cost you 500,000, not even 300,000. You can even put a shower, and you can put what, if you are saying it's maybe the plumbing and whatever you put there. Why is the houses in Namibia costing 1 million? It's because there is these people, the contractors, are making an exaggerated price. A person can make even more than 400% profit out of one house. This is where we need really to go. And I stood in Swakopmund when we were having all the local authorities. The minister was there. He was giving us a training. I stood and I asked the minister, what are we doing as a government to address the issue of housing in Namibia? Because it's one of the serious crises now, and the people have been working for 20 years, and that person does not even own a single house in Namibia because of this expensiveness. And why if I'm a government employee, I have to buy a house and they have to be delivered for 20 years? All these things are these things that really must be looked at, because it's not only must be looked at from a specific local authority angle, but it's the whole country that must address that crisis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any few last words, my brother, as we wrap up this conversation?
Yeah. No, I think generally, because me, I'm a youth, the call for us is that as a leader on the level, on the ground where our people are, because remember, the development must come from the constituency level, must come from the local authority area. You cannot talk development from the top before you talk from the ground. I think what I need is that all of us, I ask all the leaders, whether it's in Outapi, whether it's elsewhere in the local authority, let us leave the politics, let us serve our people, and let's leave the differences, and so that then our people can get better services. And also, let's try to see how do we solve the issue of unemployment in this country, because it's a serious crisis. And if we can hold hands and assist the youth, then we can have a better Namibia.
Absolutely. Yeah. Councillor, thank you for coming. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Yeah. That is Councillor in the Outapi Town Council, Petrus Shiweva, of course, sharing his views on a number of issues, particularly the sale of government employment government application forms for jobs for an astronomical $9, which he says a lot of young people in that area cannot afford. Thank you for watching.